You are lying in bed at 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, and you cannot name what is wrong. You just know something is missing. Something has been missing for a long time. It does not begin with a miracle. It does not begin in a building, or a song, or that dramatic moment you promise. From today, I'll finally get serious about God. It begins in the quiet you usually try to outrun. The seconds after the song ends. The 3 in the morning ceiling staring. The party where you are laughing and somehow still feel strangely alone. It begins in the ache you keep trying to drown. If you have ever felt that low, unsettled sense of, there has to be more than this is for you. There are 2 enemies that have been standing between you and the connection your soul craves. The first is a distorted image of God that was handed to you by people who confused fear with holiness. The second is the version of yourself you learned to perform instead of the person you actually are. Today, these 2 get dismantled. And by the end of this, you will have a simple 3-part practice you can start tonight. The last part is the one almost everyone overlooks, but it might be the most important. Maybe the ache hits you in the car. You are driving home on autopilot, playlist blasting like emotional wallpaper, and then for a few seconds, the sound cuts out.
No lyrics, no bass.
Just air. In that tiny gap, before you rush to tap the next track, something inside whispers, do not fill this. Wait. Maybe it shows up at 3 in the morning. Your body is exhausted, but your mind refuses to shut down. The fan spins slow circles. The sheets feel like you have been fighting a war in them. You rehearse gratitude. You rehearse perspective. Still, under all the pep talks, a quiet hum will not switch off. Is this it? Wake up, grind, scroll, sleep, repeat, and then one day it all goes black. Or maybe it sneaks into your joy. You are at the celebration you worked hard for.
Lights, jokes,
clinking glasses. Someone hugs you and says, you earned this. Everyone sees the version of you who is soaking it in. But somewhere behind your ribs, there is a hollow echo. Even here, where you are supposed to feel complete, something is missing. You have tried to label this. Burnout, stress, anxiety,
hormones.
Maybe I just need a break. Maybe I am ungrateful. Maybe I overthink. All of those can be real. Rest, therapy, medication, nervous system healing. All real, all important. But there is a layer underneath the psychology. Because no matter who lies next to you, what you achieve, or how bright your screen gets with notifications, the ache never fully disappears. You can distract it for hours.
You can drown it for a night.
When the noise fades, it is waiting. So you do what most of us do, you run. Endless scrolling. Another show. Podcast in the shower. Video while you cook. Music on every walk. Messages filling every pause. Silence starts to feel like a threat. Because deep down, you are terrified that if you ever let that ache get loud, it will swallow you. The ache is not the problem. The ache is the invitation. What if you have misdiagnosed it? What if that ache is not proof that you are broken, but proof that you are built? People long before us had a word for this. Some called it a sense of the divine written into the human heart. Think about your body. If you are born with lungs, that suggests there is such a thing as air. If you are born with thirst that returns every day, that suggests there is such a thing as water. If you are born with hunger for meaning and love that no experience ever quite satisfies, that hunger is not a glitch. It is a clue. You are hungry in this particular way because you were designed for a kind of nourishment this world does not stock. You are lonely in this deep way not because you have no people, but because you are made for a level of knowing and being known that no human being, however kind, can carry for you alone. You have been trying to feed a soul-sized hunger with achievements, relationships, and experiences, and wondering why you still feel underfed. If you feel that restless ache right now, breathe. It does not mean you are spiritually failing. It does not mean you are behind every person who says, I feel God all the time. You are feeling exactly what a human is supposed to feel when the signal finally cuts through the static. The ache is not evidence that God is absent. It is evidence that your soul is still alive to His presence. What is dead does not crave. If you were spiritually dead, you would not care. You would not be listening to this. The fact that God's distance annoys you, that you miss a closeness you are not even sure you have ever had, that you feel anything at all about this, that is the echo doing its job. Some part of you still hopes there is someone on the other side of this ache. That hope does not make you weak. It means your soul is working exactly the way it was designed. But wanting connection with God and knowing how to live in that connection are not the same thing. Between your hunger and His heart, a lot of static has built up. The first source of static is the distorted image of God many of us were handed. For a lot of people, the first God they met was not a safe presence, but a loaded idea. Maybe He sat in a wooden pew, in the heavy silence of a religious home, or in the tight jaw of someone who claimed to speak for Him. This version of God had a posture. On paper, He loved you unconditionally. In practice, He always seemed slightly disappointed. Always watching. Always evaluating. Clipboard in hand. Do well, you are tolerated. Mess up, He folds His arms and turns His face away. Quick to anger. Slow to reassure. More cosmic manager than father. If that is the God your nervous system learned, of course the word prayer makes you tense. Of course, be alone with God makes your chest tighten. Your body is not overreacting. It is protecting you. If God has been tied to shame, criticism, and fear, your body will register God as danger. You can force yourself to bow your head while your soul holds its breath. You call it, I feel nothing when I pray. Often it is closer to, I do not feel safe with the version of God in my head. Numbness is not always laziness. Sometimes numbness is defense. If every time you approach God you brace for impact, you cannot relax enough to connect.
Pause here.
If your chest tightened while hearing that description, the God who is always slightly disappointed, always evaluating, your body is telling you something. That reaction is not rebellion. It is recognition.
Breathe.
You are allowed to question what you were handed. So the first movement of real spiritual connection is not try harder. It is unlearning. Unlearning the God of fear means daring to ask, does the God I was handed actually look like love? Or does He look like fear and control wearing a holy mask? If you are taught that God only loves you when you erase your humanity, never question, never struggle, that is not God. That is someone's fear projected onto His face. The one calling you through the ache is not sneering at your weakness. He is not bored with your pain. He is not rolling His eyes at your confusion. You can leave a building and still walk with God. You can reject a distortion and still find the real thing. To meet Him, you will have to lay down the counterfeit. That feels terrifying. It can feel like betraying the people who taught you. But questioning distorted images of God is not betrayal. It might be the first time you truly honor Him. You are saying, I want you as you really are, not as I was threatened into seeing you. That clears one layer of static. Underneath, a new question waits. The second enemy is inside you, the polished version of yourself you learned to send into the world. From early on, you discovered what worked. Smile, and adults relax. Achieve, and you get praised. Need very little, and they call you strong. Need too much, and you are too dramatic. So you built a version of you that was easier to love. That version smiles when tired, performs when empty, keeps quiet when something in you wants to scream. That mask helped you survive. It helped you navigate family, school, work, relationships. The problem is that you started sending that mask to meet God. Prayer turned into a performance review. You cleaned yourself up on the inside, switched to your holy voice, and said all the right lines. Thank you for this day. I know I do not deserve anything. Your will be done. Meanwhile, underneath, the real you is thinking, I am scared, I am losing myself. I am angry you did not stop that. I am jealous and ashamed of it. I am not sure I can trust you. You do not say those parts out loud because you are afraid they disqualify you. Here is the problem. God does not connect with costumes. He does not comfort characters. He cannot heal a mask. He meets the person you actually are. The false self can work in a harsh world, but it does not work in the presence of God because God lives in reality, not PR. If you send your representative, You remain absent. You might technically be praying, but the real you is hiding in the back row, hoping the act passes. No wonder you feel empty afterward. The true self is different. It is the you that shows up at 3 in the morning when you are too tired to pretend. Fragile, needy, and weirdly hopeful. The child under the armor. Deep connection with God is not about finally nailing the script. It is about finally dropping it. It sounds like, here I am tired. I am numb. I am not even sure what I believe right now. But if you are real, if you are here, I want whatever real with you looks like. That kind of honesty feels dangerous. Your ego screams, you cannot talk to God like that. But that might be the first truly spiritual thing you have ever said. Most of us learn prayer as a formal speech. We memorized certain phrases, copied the tone of whoever had the microphone, and tried to sound okay. But across centuries, people have prayed very differently. Why have you forgotten me? How long will you hide? Everyone has left me. Not neat, not careful, still called prayer. Real talk prayer is simple. You say what is actually true inside you, even if it feels ugly, small, or wrong. And you say it to God, not just about God. God, I feel like you abandoned me. God, I do not like my life right now. God, I am jealous and I hate that about myself. God, I feel stupid talking to the ceiling. Every time you pray like that, you peel off another layer of costume. You are not performing spirituality. You are being human in front of God. That is all you were ever asked to be. Real talk prayer does not have to be long. It can be one breath in a bathroom stall. This hurts. Please be here. A whisper on a hospital bed. I am scared. A quiet sentence on your walk home. I am happy, and I do not know what to do with it. You do not have to sound religious. You do not have to quote anything. You do not have to force a thank you when all you have is help. Help is a holy word, even when it comes out as a sigh. If you have never talked to God like this, raw, unpolished, honest, this might be the most important shift you make. One honest sentence can do more than 1,000 performed ones. The paradox is this. The more honest you become, the more connected you begin to feel, even if nothing spectacular happens on the outside. For the first time, you are actually present. And when the words run out, the journey does not end. It simply shifts into a different language. Eventually, you run out of words. You have cried or sat dry-eyed. You have poured the junk drawer of your heart onto the table. Then what? Now you step into the one thing modern humans fear most: silence. We fill every gap with a notification, a video, a song, a thought. But many who have walked this path say that God is not only in our sentences. He hides in the spaces between them. Silence is not doing nothing. It is letting the relationship breathe. Think of someone who makes you feel truly safe. You can sit in the same room, say almost nothing, and still feel accompanied. Silence with God can grow into that. It does not start mystical. It starts awkward. You choose a spot, the end of your bed, a chair by a window, a parked car, a bench on your walk. You decide, this is our spot. This is our time. You sit. You set a tiny timer, 1 or 2 minutes. You breathe slowly. Your mind explodes. Bills. Old embarrassments. Future arguments. What am I doing? This is pointless. You want to stand up and declare, I am bad at this. But hear this. The chaos is not failure. It is what you can finally hear now that the outside volume is lower. Your mind was always this loud. You just usually drown it with more noise. Silence is not about deleting thoughts. It is about gently training your attention. When you notice you have wandered, and you do not scold yourself. You notice and you come back. Come back to what? To your breathing. To a simple line in your mind. I am here. You're here. To an image of sitting beside God on that bench, saying nothing. Every time you wander and return, you are building a new reflex. Stillness is not unsafe. I can be quiet and still live. At first, you might not feel God at all. What you will feel if you keep returning is your own edges softening. You will see how harsh your inner critic is, how quickly you script disasters. That awareness itself is a kind of light. 2 minutes. 3. 5 on a brave day. Just enough to say, I will not run for myself today. If you are here, sit with me in this. Sometimes you may sense a subtle peace. Nothing dramatic, just a quiet okayness you cannot explain. Other times you will feel nothing. Dry, flat, alone. If that nothing sticks around, you have stepped into another chapter. The wilderness usually comes after you have tasted something real. You knew God's nearness once, or at least you think you did. Then suddenly, the feeling vanishes. You show up. You are honest. You sit in silence. And nothing. The warmth that once came easily goes quiet. The sense of God right here disappears. So you think, I broke it. God left. I did something wrong. You chase the feeling. More intense events. More emotional highs. More spiritual sugar. But what if this season is not punishment, but growth? Picture a child learning to walk. At first, the parent holds them constantly. Every step is supported. If the parent never lets go, the child never falls. But they also never walk. One day, the parent steps back a little, hands out, eyes locked, and says, "Come." To the child, that space feels like abandonment. To the parent, it is love. Many people experience seasons where God's felt presence lifts not because He is gone, but because He is inviting your trust to grow. Inviting you to love Him not only for the feelings, but for who He is, even in the dark. In the wilderness, faith slowly shifts from "I feel, so I believe" to "I trust, even when I do not feel." How do you survive it? By shrinking, not quitting. You do not need epic quiet times. You need stubborn presence. One honest line a day. I am still here, even if I do not feel you. 1 minute in the chair, even when it feels pointless. One raw whisper, "How long?" Followed by, "I choose to stay." Think of your faith like a tiny pilot light in a dark house. Your job is not to turn it into a bonfire overnight. Your job is to cup your hands around that flame and protect it. If you are in that season right now, the dry, silent, "Where did you go?" season, hear this. You have not broken anything. You are not being punished. You are being invited to trust in the dark. Keep showing up. And as you walk through this, you begin to realize something else. You were never meant to do all of this alone. Yes, you can meet God in solitude. But you were not built for only solitude. You need people, the right kind. This is complicated because many of the deepest wounds came from spiritual people and spaces. Places that used fear instead of love. Leaders who used God's name to control and shame. Communities that demanded you shut down your questions to belong. You were handed a cracked, dirty cup. Refusing that cup was healthy. The mistake was deciding that the water itself must be poison. You can walk away from harmful religious systems without walking away from God. Sometimes leaving them is the most sacred choice you can make. You are saying, "I will not confuse your name with their harm anymore." But the ache for human connection does not vanish. Healthy spiritual community does not replace your connection with God. It mirrors and supports it. It looks like people who can hear your doubt without panicking. People who apologize when they hurt you instead of hiding behind authority. People who respect your no, your pace, your process. Boundaries are not unspiritual. They're holy. A boundary can sound like, "I am not available for conversations where my feelings are dismissed as a lack of faith. I need distance from that group. My nervous system is not safe there. I will not stay in spaces that use fear and shame to control me, no matter what they call it." You can step back from harmful people and still keep walking with God. Over time, you may find 1 or 2 souls who feel safe. Not perfect. Safe. You risk sharing more of the real you.
They do not weaponize it.
You talk about this messy journey. Aching, unlearning, trying, failing, and they nod because they know it too. These are God with skin on moments, glimpses of what love is meant to look like up close. Slowly, the echo of God's presence starts to spill into everything. At some point, you realize there is no clean line between spiritual life and regular life. There is just life. and your awareness of God in it. You begin to treat your whole day as one long, imperfect conversation. You wake up, and before reaching for your phone, you whisper, "Before I do anything, I am already seen." You make coffee and let yourself think, "Thank you for this small warmth in my hands." You drive and turn off the noise for 60 seconds, breathing. Be with me in whatever is coming. You feel your jaw clench in traffic, and instead of shaming yourself, you say, "Here is my impatience. Be with me in this too." You send a more honest email. You count that as worship. You apologize after snapping at someone. Also worship. You laugh at a joke. Enjoy a song. Rest without guilt. You let that count as worship too, not because God needs your productivity, but because He is woven into everything that is true and real. And when you inevitably drift, because you remember. The spiritual life is not a straight line upward. It is wandering and returning. You will forget. You will go back on autopilot. You will have weeks where you do not pray, do not sit in silence, do not think about any of this. That does not erase the work. God is not tallying missed days. He is not sulking in the corner.
Picture a porch at night.
Light on, door unlocked. Not pacing, not checking a watch. Just watching the road. The victory is not in never leaving. The victory is in returning. Every time you turn, with a sigh, a swear, or a whispered, if you are there, you are already back in the conversation. Now we reach the part that makes everything else practical. This is where the ache becomes a path. If you are ready to try this, if you are tired of performing and ready to just be real, take a breath. Here is your divine echo practice. 3 tiny moves you can start today. 1 honest sentence. Today, at some point, tell God the truth in 1 line. God, if you are there, this is how I actually feel. Anxious.
Numb.
Grateful. Angry. Hopeful. It does not matter. Real talk prayer starts with 1 honest sentence. 1 quiet minute. Turn your phone face down. Set a 60-second timer. Sit in your spot. Bed, car, bench, chair. Breathe slowly. When your mind runs, do not yell at yourself. Notice it and gently come back to, I am here. You are here. Silence is not about performing. It is about letting the relationship breathe. 1 small act of care. Choose 1 tiny thing that honors the soul God gave you. Say no to 1 draining thing. Take a short walk without headphones. Go to bed 20 minutes earlier. Text a safe person instead of doom scrolling. That is spiritual too. These 3 together are your divine echo practice. 1 honest sentence. 1 quiet minute. 1 small act of care. Do them imperfectly. Do them while doubting. Do them even if all you feel is the ache. Connection is not about getting it right. It is about showing up real. Because that ache is not failure. It is the proof that you are still alive to more. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not the one person God has decided to skip. You are exactly the kind of human this story has always been about. Hungry, tired, hurting, and still daring to whisper into the dark. If you are there, I want to know you. For real. The door has never been locked. You just forgot you could walk through it. And somewhere beneath the noise, the echo answers. If this speaks to you, do something with it. Right now, drop your 1 honest sentence in the comments, as vague or specific as you need. It can be as simple as, I am here, or I do not know what I believe, but I want it. That tiny declaration is your first practice of real talk prayer. Share this with 1 person who might need to know they're not crazy for feeling the ache. And if you want more tools like this, ways to walk with God that do not require you to perform or pretend, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Next week, there will be another episode on what to do when God feels silent and how to stay connected in the wilderness without burning out or giving up. If you have ever felt abandoned in your faith, that conversation is for you. Make sure you are here when it drops.